Have you ever settled into your living room after dusk, the day's responsibilities behind you, and felt that wave of relief, only to slip into routines that feel comforting in the moment, but could be quietly undermining your long-term health? If you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, these comforts might seem well-deserved after decades of hard work and caring for others. Yet doctors are warning us that a few of these evening habits, repeated night after night, could contribute to health problems that chip away at our vitality. Sometimes they harm the heart, sometimes they increase stress on our immune system, and sometimes they pave the way for chronic conditions that seem to arise out of nowhere. But they don't come out of nowhere. They've been building for years. Does it mean you have to abandon all pleasures in your evening hours? Absolutely not. This scenario is about recognizing the hidden pitfalls in some of the most common nighttime routines and learning how to swap them out for healthier versions without feeling like you've lost the small joys that make life rich. Sometimes, the difference between feeling energized in the morning and feeling dragged down can hinge on choices we make just a few hours before bed. Tonight, we're focusing on 4 such evening habits. By the end of this video, you'll be aware of how they operate, how they affect your body over time, and how simple shifts in your routine can help you maintain that strong, independent lifestyle for years to come. The last habit we'll talk about is one that might seem so innocent. You'd never suspect it's a silent culprit. Yet doctors see its long-term effects over and over in older adults. Stay with me until the very end, because knowledge truly is power, especially if you're 50 plus and determined to protect your health. Let's dive in. Have you ever noticed that when you have a big, hearty meal late at night, you wake up feeling a little off? Maybe there's acid reflux in the middle of the night, or you feel your heart beating faster than normal. Sometimes you don't notice anything at all until weeks, months, or years later, when your energy steadily declines or your blood pressure creeps upward. Doctors consistently warn that one of the riskiest late evening routines is going to bed on a full stomach, especially if you're eating high-fat, high-salt foods or those heavy in refined carbs. Let's imagine Doris, age 68, who's a retired teacher and loves her evening comfort foods. All day, she tries to eat lightly, but come dinner time, around 7 or 8 p.m., she's ravenous. She whips up a large plate of creamy pasta or a big, greasy burger. By 9 p.m., she's comfortably settled in her recliner, drifting off. Then come 2 or 3 a.m., she's wide awake with a burning sensation in her chest. That's acid reflux, and it's not just an annoyance. Over time, reflux can damage the esophagus and strain the body. More than that, when you lie down with a full belly, your system must focus on digestion right when it should be concentrating on essential nighttime repairs, cellular rejuvenation, and deeper rest. Your heart rate remains somewhat elevated, your stomach churns away, and that big meal can spike blood sugar levels, especially if it's loaded with sugar or simple carbohydrates. For those prone to diabetes or hypertension, this is a recipe for trouble over the long haul. You might not see the negative effects immediately, but the cumulative stress can inch you closer to serious cardiovascular issues. What do you do instead? Doctors suggest finishing a substantial dinner 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, giving your body ample time to process the meal. If you find yourself hungry later, try a light snack that won't overload your system. Perhaps a small handful of walnuts, a piece of fruit with some peanut butter, or a bit of yogurt. These allow your stomach to do minimal work rather than overloading it with a heavy second dinner. The surprising result: many people find they sleep more soundly and wake up with less grogginess. Sometimes they even notice improved digestion throughout the day, not just at night. That small change of shifting your main meal earlier and keeping only a minor snack for later can have a profound impact on your long-term heart health and energy levels. Now let's talk about that thing so many of us do: plopping down in front of a screen, be it a TV, a phone, a tablet, to unwind or catch up on the latest shows. Maybe you've worked hard your whole life. Maybe you're retired and cherishing the freedom to watch what you want when you want. It seems harmless enough, right? The trouble is that the bright lights from electronic devices can trick our brains into thinking it's daytime, interfering with melatonin production. That's the hormone that helps us feel sleepy at the proper time. For older adults, melatonin is already on a gentler cycle. It doesn't rise as robustly at night as it did decades ago. So if you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, staring at a screen right before bed can lead to shallower sleep. You might nod off easily enough, especially if you're tired, but in the wee hours 1, 2, or 3 a.m., you wake up feeling oddly alert and can't doze back off. Consider Henry, age 72, who was once a good sleeper. He's a big fan of mystery shows, so he binge watches nightly until around 11 p.m. He hits the pillow and dozes off. But by 2:30 a.m., he's awake, mind swirling with scenes from the show, or simply feeling restless. Over weeks and months, this pattern becomes ingrained, messing with his deeper stages of sleep. The cycles that repair tissues, regulate hormones, and bolster the immune system. Doctors see the connection. Disrupted sleep leads to higher cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, and can feed into higher blood pressure, weight gain, and even mood swings. It's a slow burn, quietly undermining health. What's the solution? You don't have to give up TV or your phone entirely, but try instituting a no bright screens rule for the final 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you must watch something, dim the screen and consider wearing blue light blocking glasses. Even better, choose an evening wind-down ritual that's not screen-dependent. Read a physical book with a soft lamp. Listen to soothing music, or spend a few minutes journaling your thoughts from the day. A simple shift can significantly improve your sleep quality. The difference might be dramatic. You wake up fewer times in the night, and on many mornings, you'll feel calmer and more energized. Over the long haul, you could see improvements in blood pressure, cognition, and emotional resilience, factors that strongly correlate with longevity. We've talked about what we eat too late and how we stimulate our brains with bright screens. But there's another sneaky factor that disrupts evenings for many older Americans: improper hydration habits. Maybe you forget to drink water all day, then guzzle down several glasses after dinner, worried about dehydration. Or perhaps you're so concerned about nighttime trips to the bathroom that you scarcely drink any fluids past 4 or 5 p.m. Both extremes can sabotage your body. Let's picture Judy, a 66-year-old who realized she was feeling sluggish and dehydrated in the afternoon, so she started chugging water at dinner or later. That helped her meet her daily fluid goal, but also meant she was up 2 or 3 times a night, fumbling for the bathroom light. Fragmented sleep again undermines her rest and recovery, and over weeks, Judy feels more fatigued than ever. On the other hand, imagine Robert, age 70, who wants to avoid those pesky nighttime bathroom trips entirely. So he stops drinking water by mid-afternoon. Sure, he doesn't get out of bed at 2 a.m., but he wakes up parched, sometimes with a headache, and occasionally with a racing heart. Mild dehydration can stress the cardiovascular system more than you might think, forcing the heart to work harder to circulate blood. Over time, that can raise risks for heart disease, not to mention cause muscle cramps, dizziness, and problems with mental clarity. The key is moderation and timing. Doctors recommend spacing out water intake throughout the day, frequent sips rather than giant gulps right before bed. If you're worried about overhydrating at night, plan your fluid intake so you're not ingesting a bunch of water within 2 hours of bedtime. But don't cut it off so early that your body misses out on what needs. With a balanced approach, you'll likely experience deeper, uninterrupted sleep, and your body will maintain a healthier fluid balance. The next morning, you're less likely to feel that dragging, dull headache that comes from mild dehydration. Now, let's talk about the final evening habit. One doctors warn could be particularly dangerous if it becomes routine. Picture someone like Walter, 69, who's had a long day. Maybe he's been caring for grandchildren or dealing with household tasks. He feels a bit frazzled, so he reaches for a glass of wine or a whiskey on the rocks, telling himself it's a well-earned relaxant. Sometimes it helps him doze off more quickly, because alcohol has that initial sedative effect. But the body doesn't process it like a magic sleep potion. It metabolizes the alcohol during the night, causing fluctuations in blood sugar, heart rate, and brain activity. That often triggers a rebound awakening. Walter finds himself up at 1 or 2 a.m., sweaty, restless, sometimes a little anxious. And once that cycle sets in, he might find it even harder to drift back to sleep without another drink. The result is fragmented rest, leading to ongoing fatigue. Doctors also explain that alcohol can raise blood pressure and stress the liver, which is especially problematic for older adults whose organs are already working harder. Over time, a steady routine of nightly drinks significantly increases the risk of hypertension, heart arrhythmias, and even issues with memory and cognition. For women past menopause, it can also contribute to bone density issues and heighten breast cancer risks. So while that nightly drink may seem like a harmless treat, it can quietly open the door to more serious health concerns down the line. Does that mean you must never have another glass of wine? Not necessarily, but many medical professionals suggest limiting alcohol to occasional use and never using it as a primary sleep aid. A calming alternative might be an herbal tea, chamomile, passion flower, or lavender. These can help ease the body toward rest without triggering the rebound effect that alcohol often does. If you do indulge, keep it moderate and drink it earlier in the evening, so your body has more time to metabolize it before bed. Let's pause and sum up these 4 evening habits doctors say may be quietly shortening your life. 1. Eating large, heavy, or high-salt meals right before bedtime. This places added stress on your cardiovascular system, disrupts deep rest, and can elevate blood pressure over time. 2. Using electronic screens with bright lights too close to bedtime. This can suppress melatonin, fragment your sleep, and lead to higher cortisol levels that may encourage weight gain, mood issues, and a stressed heart. 3. Mismanaging hydration. Either overhydrating late at night or underhydrating to avoid bathroom trips. Both can disturb your sleep and strain your heart and kidneys in subtle, cumulative ways. 4. Consuming alcohol as a relaxant before bed. While it initially sedates, it disrupts the natural sleep cycle and places long-term stress on your cardiovascular and metabolic systems, raising the risk of serious health complications. Maybe you recognized your own routine in 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of these habits. The good news is that change is within your power. You've spent decades building a life, forging relationships, and learning about yourself. Now is the time to gently adjust those daily patterns in ways that let you continue enjoying your evenings without silently harming your body. If you're ready to make changes, start small. If late-night meals are your weakness, consider eating dinner 30 minutes earlier than usual. After a week, shift it another 30 minutes earlier. Over time, your body will get used to finishing its main meal well before bedtime. If screens are the culprit, set a cutoff, maybe 9 or 9:30 p.m., where you put the phone to bed, dim the lights, and wind down with non-screen activities. Even if you watch TV up to that point, turning it off a little earlier can give your mind the buffer it needs. For hydration, plan your water intake throughout the day. Keep a glass handy in the morning and afternoon. Have some with each meal, and try to moderate your intake after dinner, so you aren't guzzling liquids close to bedtime. If alcohol is a nightly companion, take a break for a week or 2 and see how you feel. Or swap that second glass of wine for a decaf herbal tea, noticing whether you wake up fewer times in the night. Many find that eliminating or reducing nightly alcohol leads to more restful sleep and better energy. These adjustments might seem small, but they can add up to a massive benefit for your heart, immune system, mental clarity, and overall longevity. Doctors often see older patients who assume their fatigue, achy joints, or mild depression are just part of getting older, when in fact, refining their evening routine can substantially improve how they feel day to day. And remember, you aren't alone in this journey. Many older adults report that once they make these changes, they rediscover a sense of vitality they thought was long gone. Maybe your blood pressure reading improves at the next doctor's visit. Maybe your loved ones notice you're more upbeat or have more stamina. Maybe you wake up with a clearer mind, ready to take a morning walk or pursue a hobby you've always loved. Life beyond 50, 60, or 70 can still be marked by growth and excitement, and it's often the small nightly rituals that pave the way for your body to thrive. When you sleep deeply, with fewer disruptions, like racing heartbeats, multiple bathroom trips, or 3 a.m. wakefulness, You give your immune system time to strengthen, your brain a chance to consolidate memories, and your heart room to rest from the day's demands. That can translate into a more robust defense against chronic diseases and a generally happier outlook on life. Finally, let's talk motivation. It's easy to say you'll make changes, but even easier to slip back into old habits. So think about the why. Why does this matter to you? Is it to stay healthy enough to play with your grandchildren? To travel without constant fatigue? To keep your independence well into your 80s and 90s? Holding on to that reason can make each small step more meaningful. When you choose a cup of herbal tea instead of a late-night cocktail, you're not just skipping a drink. You're affirming your commitment to living a longer, healthier life. Remember, you don't have to perfect everything overnight. Pick the one habit that feels most within your control this week. Focus on it and see how you feel. You might be pleasantly surprised at how quickly you notice the difference in your mood and body. Thank you for being here with us. We hope this information helps you reflect on your evenings and empowers you to make small tweaks that can protect and extend your well-being. Have you tried adjusting your dinner time or cutting back on those bright screens before bed? We'd love to hear your experiences. Share your thoughts, tips, or struggles in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to make a change that boosts their health. And if you found this scenario helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more insights on living a richer, more vibrant life. Stay well, listen to your body, and remember that every night offers you a chance to support or harm your health. By choosing with awareness, you keep the best years ahead of you bright and full of possibility. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a peaceful evening and take good care of yourself. You deserve it.